Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the upcoming Kirkwood Celebration of the Arts, which is an in-person event coming up on April 30th. That's big news right there. Say hi to Jennifer Cunningham and Fred Kaiser from the Kirkwood staff, and also Brennan Regan, Kirkwood student, is going to be performing. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Jennifer, let's start by talking about the idea for how the event came about and the decision on where to hold it and the nuts and bolts, and then we'll talk about programming.
Yeah, so I mean, this year has definitely been a challenge. Having in-person music events, as you all know, has stretched our creative thinking, so to speak. So we thought, of course, in the fall semester, having outdoor concerts in the wintertime was a no-go in Iowa. But Nubo seemed like a great place. They had done some in-person things in the fall semester and had done a great job of blocking things off and having people social distance. So that made sense as a venue that we could possibly use to get out into the community and also have an outdoor concert where we can safely perform. And in addition, our art faculty had been working on last year having their student art show at CSPS. And that unfortunately didn't happen because of COVID. So we revisited that idea this year. Unfortunately, CSPS wasn't available. So we're using the Cherry Building and Raygun to showcase student artwork in our theater department. So all of those things sort of were able to come together on a single date, April 30th, to showcase all the hard work and creative work we've been doing despite the pandemic here at Kirkwood.
Fred, I've so often said over the last year in interviews just like this that the pandemic seemed tailor-made to cut performing arts off at the knees. So talk just a little bit about how you have managed over the course of the last year to, keep things like vocal music going when we were told from the get-go that that was just about the best way possible to spread the disease.
Right. We started, yes, it has definitely been a year of creativity, of trying to stay in line with the guidances from CDC and from Linn County Public Health and other things, but also to continue to give our students any kind of opportunity to create music, to continue to create, to perform. We started, like many, with outdoor rehearsals. And we almost named one of our groups the Dumpster Choir, in fact, because we were by one of the recycling dumpsters here on campus, so it didn't smell. But outdoor rehearsals, and then we eventually did move inside, but in Ballantine Auditorium. So you have a lot of space. Everyone stayed masked, socially distanced. Lots of cleanings of microphones and things. And also more emphasis on smaller ensembles rather than the big 60 voice concert choir that we had the past year. We were able to do actually a live streamed performance with no audience back in December with the two jazz groups. But as we were planning for this semester and here we had hopes with April that we would be able to be outside. Of course, Iowa in April is a hit and miss proposition, but I think we're going to have good weather for the 30th. I'm watching that 10-day forecast. But again, just an opportunity to get the groups outside in front of people. We have done really well in terms of keeping everyone safe during the rehearsal process. I think Brennan can attest to that. And so now excited that we can do something on the other side.
What groups will be performing?
So we've got a full lineup, 2 vocal jazz ensembles, Jazz Express and then Jazz Transit will take a big chunk of time. On the instrumental side, we have both the steel drum ensemble and the instrumental jazz combo, kind of half between a combo and a big band. Then we will also have just a snapshot performance from our musical Ordinary Days. that we actually just live streamed this past weekend here on campus. Also, just and sort of one of these things are a little bit different, but a cutting from Antigone, which was our winter play that we also streamed on campus. And then we've got a couple of faculty guests that are going to pop in and do solo work, and some students who also will be presenting a solo here too. So it's going to be a pretty full evening.
April 30th at Nubo. What's the start time?
Well, so the official start is 6 o'clock, but I think there will be music starting as early as 5:30, some sort of pre-show type things. And we've got ensembles that if we stick to the schedule, we'll be finished right around 8 o'clock, but I think we can extend into 8:15, thereabouts. So plenty of time to come in and out and experience that Friday night Nubo scene, which is so exciting, but also to hear a lot of great Kirkwood student work.
We want to invite people too during that 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock hour that we'll have our ceramics instructor will be doing some demos on the pottery wheel out on the Nubo lawn, as well as our student art show. So our art students have continued to make some amazing work during the course of the school year. And our theater department will be showcasing the costumes and things like that they've designed at the Cherry Building as well. So that 5 to 6 o'clock hour will be a perfect opportunity for people to visit the different locations and see all the work we've been doing this year.
Brennan Regan, your Kirkwood career ended up looking a lot different than the one that you expected.
Yes, to say the least, absolutely.
But take just a minute and tell me if you can, something positive that has come out of all the creative ways that people have had to utilize to figure out a way to keep performing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in 2020 when this all started, people were just fiending for some sort of entertainment, whether it was TV or anything, but nothing really compared to live events. Something positive to come out of my Kirkwood singing career during this pandemic was just the level of bonding and friendship that came out of this pandemic group that we called Dumpster Choir, as Fred mentioned earlier. Because especially in the beginning of this pandemic, we were all alone, we were quarantining, we were afraid, to even be around somebody else. But as we continued through this pandemic and we kind of just leaned on each other for emotional support and really, just mental support through this whole pandemic, just singing with a group of friends is just one of the most best things that I could ever think of doing, especially in the middle of a pandemic. That really helped me, personally, with my mental state and just pushing through this pandemic. Just being with people and making music, that was honestly just the best thing that I could have possibly think of.
Brennan, what do you think is going to be your favorite moment from the performance? You have a particular song that or anything that you'd like to say, ooh, this is going to be a highlight.
Love that.
Okay. Well, we are, Jazz Transit is performing a Carrie Marsh chart of Love Shack, famously known by the B-52s. So that's obviously something to look forward to. But honestly, I'm looking forward to actually singing to people. Just being in front of a crowd. That has been it has been so long since I've actually sang to people and not just empty seats. So I am honestly just so excited to see all these people creating music, being fantastic with each other, and obviously following guidelines to keep everyone safe, but also having a great, fantastic evening.
Well, I am totally with you there, because it will be, I'm fortunate enough to be able to MC this event, and it will be the first time that I have climbed on a stage and welcomed people to a music event in well over a year. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a special and emotional time for all of us as we gather really for the first time to get to hear live music and performance.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting combination of business as usual, right? Here, this is what a performance is like. These are the steps we go through. And then I think those moments throughout the evening where you just get that wow sense of wow,
Yeah.
that it has been a while.
It's the Kirkwood Visual and Performing Arts Celebration at Nubo Market, the stage at Nubo, on Friday, April 30th, beginning at 6-ish, maybe a little bit earlier. So come early and enjoy the performing arts as they happen here at Kirkwood for the first time in a year. And you also have a chance to check out visual arts at Raygun and in the Cherry Building, right, Jennifer?
Yep.
And admission price is?
It is free. We would always welcome donations to the Students Kirkwood. We have a COVID relief fund. We're currently selling t-shirts that you can find on our Facebook page, the Kirkwood Visual and Performing Arts Facebook page, to benefit that, but the event itself is free.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk with you on Zoom today, but I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in person on April 30th at Nubo. Thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most Thursdays and Fridays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.